All right, for our last segment for the podcast, I'm going to throw it over to Mario for some hot takes.
Yes, so we are doing a hot take. The hot take this week is old shit is old. Screw your old books, your old comics, your old movies, your old CDs, your old cassette players, your old VHSs. All that shit's old. Everyone heard me. I'm a changed man. All this media behind me, I'm going to burn it. I'm going to go burn all that stuff. No, that is not actually my personal hot take. That's not how I actually feel. But I know that is a sentiment that a lot of people have these days when it comes to, digital only stuff, or when it comes to not wanting to watch older movies after a certain point. I know that Frank specifically points this out to me every time about 80s music and 80s nostalgia. Even though I was never born in the 80s, I totally get it. So I wanted to raise the topic up. Is how old is too old? And do you feel that way? Do you feel that you do not go back? I know that in this episode specifically, we've had conversations about Mass Effect, which is a somewhat older game. I'm curious about what you all think about specifically this idea. So, Sly, since you have brought in Mass Effect, I want to bring it up to you first. Are you someone that lives in that mindset or is opposite of that mindset?
Absolutely the opposite for the most part. I'm very much a sentimental person. I really enjoy and appreciate looking at older media, just like for the pure history of it. I love old books. It's probably one of my favorite things in the planet is like old books, getting to read, all these stories from people with completely different perspectives and completely different worldviews. Something I really enjoy. And games, I missed out on a lot of those, seminal titles, and being able to go back and play them, acknowledging that, maybe the graphics aren't perfect, maybe the gameplay's kind of jank, but getting to experience those in the context of now is something I really appreciate and enjoy. I do struggle more with, movies and TV shows. A lot of those I feel like don't hold up, and it's pretty challenging for me to be able to go back and watch them, especially because a lot of the themes in Hollywood that can be, pretty anti-trans, anti-queer, anti-disabled, those themes were really prevalent in a lot of older movies and TV shows. So I don't really vibe with those as much. But from a pure preservation and conservation standpoint, I love being able to access old stories and old media and just being able to see what people's perceptions were of the world, how people interacted. That's something that's really interesting to me as a communication studies major. This is my bread and butter, right? So I want to hear what you guys think about this.
Yeah, Frank, what I know that we used to share a workspace together and we would pick music, and I primarily was in control of it because I'm that kind of person. And you were tired of my playlists, and I want you to go ahead. This is your free opportunity to take pot shots at me.
When it comes to older media, and it's pretty obvious, I have a PlayStation 1 I'm holding up a PlayStation Portable right now.
Yeah.
I love older media. I have a closet in the other room filled with a bookcase filled with PS1, PS2, Wii, almost every single different console type games. When it comes to video games, I love old stuff and I love new stuff. My personal opinion on old is old is I appreciate the old stuff, but I don't really let it cloud my judgment on newer things. You have groups of people who are only into newer things, and you have groups of people who are into only the old things. And I feel like both of those sides kind of cloud each other. There's a way to do both at the same time and be able to enjoy both types of media without having to overlook the other. When it comes to movies, I agree with Sly here. I don't really like older movies and stuff like that. I mean, of course I'll watch the classics, but I'm not going like I do with video games where I'll just play an older game and, try to see what it's about. Whereas a movie, I'll see an older movie and be like, maybe I'll do something else other than this. When it comes to music, I troll Mario a lot. When it comes to this, mainly because you guys didn't have to sit in a hot ass Verizon store for 10 hours a day listening to old 80s jams on repeat. Okay, there was no changes in these songs. It was the same damn songs, guys.
I mean,
But-
I used to work at Sears, and it was the same like 20 songs.
Yeah, but
Every
you would
day.
get a change maybe every year. Okay, we worked there for I worked there for 6 years. Okay.
In Mario's defense, I also worked in a public place where we got to play music, and my boss at the time, who was 50, and I was, 20, I was playing my playlist, and he said my music taste was too old for him because it was 50s rock hits, which is like, I love 50s music so much. So like 80s is a little bit more reasonable.
I love all different types of music. If you look at my Spotify playlist, it goes from literally Japanese city pop.
What's your favorite
to
Taylor
straight
Swift
up
song?
hard gangster rap.
Your camera's doing some.
Yeah, you're
funky
doing some
thing.
funky things right now.
I know, it's because my GPU is dying.
Oh
My
no!
GPU is dying. That's why I need a new GPU.
There you go. There you go.
When it
But
comes,
yeah,
when it comes to this stuff, like I don't mind I don't mind old stuff really. I hate cassettes. I can't stand cassettes. I don't want to sit there and rewind a cassette. All right, no, nobody's got time for that. VHS, same thing. I'm glad DVDs exist. I'm glad CDs exist. And when's the last time I bought a CD or DVD? Oof, I don't remember. Like I don't remember. But when it comes to old games, I like old games. I enjoy playing them. Like I still play Smash Bros. Melee every now and then, right? I still play like Super Mario 3 and stuff like that. So like when it comes to old games, I'm completely fine with it. Old movies, I agree with both what Frank and Sly have said about old movies. Like they're not great, especially like if you're trying to watch them in like a 2021 or 2020 lens in a way. So I get the old is old mentality. I do understand it, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you just gotta see where games came from and where how they've actually like innovated, like where they started and where they are now. That's kind of where I am about older games. I wish I could play old PlayStation games on my PS5. I wish I could play like Final Fantasy VI on my PlayStation on my PS5. So I can just experience that game again, for example.
bless you, Sly.
Thank you.
Sorry, Frank. I probably cut you off there.
Oh, dude, my computer was having a time. Both my screens were just black. Like, I think that was the hardest my GPU ever like restarted itself. No, I mean, I really had nothing else to say, so you're all good.
So yeah, that's kind of where I stand. Yeah, but I understand the old is old thing. I do. When a game sucks and it's old, get it out of here. But you know,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who this probably hits the hardest, pretty much because a lot of it is gone through what I grew up watching, and it was these things that I was introduced to, so they are tied to me, even if they were not necessarily my generation, which is funny, you know, like I think fondly on Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and most of his best ones were in the 80s. You know, Predator, Terminator 2, which was, you know, teetering into the 90s, Total Recall, all these movies that are technically before my time. They're a big part of me going forward, and I still say my favorite movies of all time are Goonies and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Superman the movie. Superman the movie blew me away. Even though now the CGI and all the things that they could possibly do are so much far technical, there was something magical to see a man fly. So I still hold resonance to those old things. But I also agree with Sly. There are moments when you go back and you revisit things and you see things now with a totally different lens. You know, growing up as an adult or growing up as a kid watching it, you see things and you watch things like big example, right? Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. absolutely loved that movie as a kid. Absolutely loved all the jokes. Thought he was the funniest thing on the planet. The ass talking, the dolphin stuff, fantastic. Didn't understand the ending at all. Didn't understand what the people were laughing at when we get to the ending until you watch it as an adult, and it is extremely offensive, especially towards the trans community specifically. So that movie is a movie that I don't necessarily revisit as often as I used to, because the way that they treated that specific character is not the greatest. So I totally understand there's things that you just can't go back to sometimes when it comes to that. At the same time, I do think there are other things that still do, but that people will not watch. Like, for instance, a big movie series that I've never seen that everyone keeps telling me to watch is The Godfather. I've never seen The Godfather.
You're not alone here.
Do I want to watch 6 hours of an Italian family go through struggles? No, I already have one. They're my own family. So, it's just like part of me resists some of that in the same way I feel like a lot of people do. And it's a lot of it like growing up, like as you move along the decades, and I'm now realizing that because I'm turning 31 soon, things that I thought were bad to begin with are things I just never really gave a chance to, even at the time. So like, let's just say boy bands. Oh, boy bands suck. Now in my 30s, I love boy bands. I love Backstreet Boys. I'll pose for NSYNC. Same thing with like rap music. Rap music is another thing that to me changes over time, where my feelings on it change. And it's the older I get, the less like uppity that I get about my media. So that's why when I feel like when Frank is giving me shit about the 80s, it's because he's not actually listening to it. He's just listening to the idea of me listening to it. But I feel like if he gave it a chance, it's possible that he might like it. But that's just me obviously dreaming as well. That's just me.
I like 80s music. Don't get me wrong. I like 80s music. I just don't like the same songs over and over again.
I know. I tried to mix it up, but Spotify, it just plays the same damn algorithm all the time.
I have to listen to Billie Jean one more fucking time.
Insert Billie Jean here.
DMCA.
We don't want to stray.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No, we don't want
Fee,
to.
what do you think about this? Awesome.
I think she said something about Stadia or something, but
Start talking about Stadia, and I'm like,
Listening for the ghost of Fee.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah,
I think we're to about the end of the podcast. Sly, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on the internet at SlycloneMC, pretty much everywhere. I think the only thing that's different is Twitch is just Slyclone, which is pretty cool. Not doing much. I'm trying to graduate, so very busy, very stressed. But you can find me on, Pip stuff. I'm here. That's pretty much all I'm doing right now. Couple projects I'm working on for class, so you might see something from me there. But keep an eye on my Twitter, and I'll keep everybody in the loop.
Sounds good. Frank, where can everybody find you? What are you working on?
You can find me on Point in Progress, where I here talk about video games and news. You could also follow me at Twitch at Venom Unfit Snake over there. I'm actually streaming somewhat. I bought a new camera. My lights are actually properly put in the right spot. I bought a new monitor.
Yeah. You can see details in your room that I don't want to see. I don't want to see those details. It's too many details.
My man streams for 10 hours and he's like, how do people do this?
How the fuck? So yeah, I recently streamed Resident Evil 1 HD, and it took a lot longer than I thought because I did not remember most of the puzzles. It's been a while since I played that game. But how the fuck do streamers do this shit for 10 hours? Because I was almost there for almost 12, and I was losing it. Okay, my mental state was not there. Okay, if you ever play Eternal Darkness,
8 hours minimum every day.
Oh my god, it is a nightmare. But I will be streaming Resident Evil 2 because we're gonna do every single Resident Evil game. I'm gonna do every single one of them to completion. So we will be doing Resident Evil 2 this Tuesday as well.
All right,
Actually, probably when this podcast comes out. Actually,
yeah, we'll try to promote it beforehand. Yeah.
Hey, Mario, where can people find you? What have you been working on?
you can find me at that Mario Rivera on all your platforms. That includes YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you find me just by typing in that full phrase, you'll be able to find me. You can also find me on TeePublic, where you can find this t-shirt that you can also buy. I have a photo. I'm going to show it right here. It's my family wearing it. Fantastic. And
I look over as if I could actually see it.
And of the other thing that me and Frank actually did last week now, we went on the Penultimate podcast and we actually talked about the Snyder Cut for an hour, which was fun. It was a lot of fun. So definitely check out Penultimate. We're always blending between the two, so that's really cool. And then I think Frank and I are going to do a video on my YouTube channel where we talk about movies, because we're going to watch a good old classic psychological thriller called Old Boy from Park Chan-wook. So I'm excited to show you the Vengeance trilogy, at least one part of the Vengeance trilogy. So it's gonna be fun.
I'm hyper excited to start this tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm turning 31. That's the end of my plugs.
Yeah, I also turned 25 as well.
Yeah, he turned 25.
Happy
We have a
birthday.
lot of March birthdays in this.
That's right.
I'm coming up too. We have
Ooh.
3 fucking Aries in this group, as Fee loves to remind us.
Yeah.
All right. I am not turning.
Harv, where can we find you?
I'm turning 32 this year, but that's 33 this year.
Okay.
But at the end of the year, though. You know. But I'm not a March person. You can find me at Beard and the Hair and all your social media platforms except YouTube, which is Beard and the Hair Gaming. I just put up a new podcast with Within the Beard with the one and only Robo Dessert. He is an awesome streamer. He's an awesome person. So if you guys want to check that out, please check that out. I really, really appreciate it.
His thumbnail
Doing
looked
that
really
podcast,
good.
huh? Did it really good? Did it look good?
The thumbnail looks really good.
I'm getting better with the thumbnail game. Getting a little bit better with the thumbnail game.
Yeah.
I mean, the thumbnail is so easy for that because I just take their picture and just throw it up on
Yeah.
there.
I just gave you a poopy photo of myself.
But yeah, so that went up. I stream 5 days a week over on twitch.tv/beard in the hair. Once my new job starts up, I'm still going to be doing 5 days a week, but it's going to be like 3 or 4 hours a day. No, it's not going to. I'm not going to do 8 hours anymore. I can't.
I will hold you to that.
Yeah, I'll be doing like 4 hours. 4 hours. But I do have some awesome stuff coming up on the channel. Awesome stuff just in general with Beard and the Hair and stuff like that. So I'm really, really, really excited. But guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. The viewers, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys, Sly, Frank, Mario, Fee, rest in peace. It was really, really nice knowing you.
Fee. Hold on, pour one out for Fee real quick. Oh shit.
She was one of the good ones. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching episode 7 of the Point in Progress podcast, your one-stop shop for news, recommendations, and spicy takes. Joining 5 friends over 3 time zones in 2 countries every week as we discuss the things that we love and while still thinking critically of them. And Mario?
That's right. Progress has been made.